the launch of the Lucid Air. It was very exciting. There's some stuff coming very soon on the channel. As soon as we get back to Portland, as soon as we get to unload all of our gear, and we've had a chance to catch our breath, because as you know, we have our own video equipment, we have our own production equipment, but we don't have a dedicated video editor. So I'm packing away all of the gear that we've been using this week, and I figured it would be a really good chance to share with you how we make stuff and what we do. So let me see if I can switch the camera around here, and I don't know if this is working. Yes, it is. Hello, good morning. Had to check there for a second because my camera froze. But we use a lot of gear, we use a lot of production equipment, and I figured that I would just show you some of the gear that we use and what we take with us when we go on an event. So obviously it's kind of the older end of our gear stash are these GoPro Hero 8s. The lens needs cleaning. These are fantastic little workhorses. Sometimes they go on the outside when we're doing we're doing off-roading. These will go on the outside to protect. These are the most sacrificable of our GoPros. We just bought some new batteries for them. We run Gopro Labs. The cool thing about that is that Gopro Labs allows you to do some fun things with the files, such as making sure that you record the larger file format, making sure that you can kind of lock the frame rate, and also making sure that everything is synced. You can use a Gopro Labs app. Literally, when you turn the camera on, you show it a QR code, and then it resets everything to exactly what you want. We've got two of these that we bring with these fantastic, really tough all-metal cases. Winter used these when he did his road trip. We've used them for doing some of the off-road stuff. And it also has a lovely hot shoe mount here as well, which is great because it means that we can use these wonderful little Litra cubes. These are fantastic. They're super bright. I'm not going to get it out of the box because we've just packed them away. But they are super, super bright, and they really work really well on the road. Great for lighting the cabin. We've got two of those as a company, and Winter has some he owns himself. Then we've got four of these. These are the GoPro Hero 9s. They all have their own little cases, as you can see, and they've all got their own sort of barcode on, because we have so much equipment these days that just trying to keep track of what we're doing and how we're doing it is pretty darned hard. I also want to apologize to anybody who's watching. I know that we put up a Sunday musing, and I was so busy getting ready for this trip I didn't hit publish. Mea culpa, and we're going to fix that. So over here we have obviously all of our GoPros. So these have to come into the cabin with us, and every camera has its own code, and every bag has its own code, and that's because when you're dealing with 6 GoPros and 1 GoPro Max, knowing where the camera comes from, knowing where the footage comes from, that's the other reason why we use the GoPro Labs. So we have a GoPro Max in here. We didn't actually use that for this trip, and we have lots and lots of batteries. These are great. These are V-mount batteries, and these are what we run all of our cameras on. We've got one in there, and we've got some more over here. These V-mount batteries are the best. We used one of these. We actually brought 3. We only needed to use 1 because we were running, and which brings me over to the main camera. We used Blackmagic as our main camera. So this is our Blackmagic Pocket 6K. It's a lovely piece of kit. We love using it. I like using it. I think Winter accepts it. So Winter would rather we went to Sony's. But I love using the Blackmagic. It's easy to grade. Great camera. It records raw video, which is fantastic. This is our Sigma, our main Sigma lens. It's not a prime lens, it's actually a zoom lens, but it's really, really good. We love it. We've got a couple of Manfrotto tripods. We've got all the GoPro stuff in here, and we have to basically change all of the stuff depending on what shoot we're doing. So this funny looking thing here, it's basically a bit of our rigging. It's got a base plate that attaches to the tripod, and then the camera goes on top here. And this is where you plug your battery in. So these big V-mount batteries just go straight into the side. And that cool thing about that is it will run something like a Blackmagic for a really long time. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera does come with a battery inside, a removable battery. It runs on the same battery as a lot of Canon consumer cameras, prosumer cameras. The problem is it runs out in 20 minutes. So we use all of these power cables up here, which one of them attaches to the camera and then one of them attaches to the monitor. Here's the monitor, it sits in here, the monitor arm. And then we have our HDMI for our monitor, we have our USB cable, and then that brings me to the lights. We have these wonderful lights that we also use. These are the lights we use in the studio. They come with us on trips. They are the accent lights. You can see this one is purple, but you can change the color. You can make it flash, or you can make it be bright white. It's very useful to have. These come with us. They go in the holds. Really, really cool to use. And then we have some barn doors and some other kit that goes with. Then we go over to the editing machine. Now, we don't edit on the road anymore, and if I was editing on the road, it would be a lot. We would use a different machine, but this is the new M1 MacBook, and it's a great machine. It's very easy to do. I'm just installing some Xcode on there. Let me show you some other things. And then I'm going to go and have breakfast because Winter's coming up in a second and he'll have breakfast with us. Hello, Stefan. Good to see you. Sorry, I missed that earlier. Then we've got, oh, I haven't talked about audio. Let me show you what we use for audio, if in fact I can remember where I put it. So we have, these are our Deity Connects. They are our wireless microphones. These are awesome. When we're doing interviews, these are great because it means that we can connect to a recorder. So this is the base unit. We can have two of these operating at the same time. You'll see we've got a spare. That's because last year one of these broke on location. We got it replaced under warranty, but we actually bought a spare one. So we've now got three. So we can take two events with us. So in case one doesn't work, we've got a spare transmitter pack that we can just switch out. These are fantastic. I love my Deity Connects. They're very, very good. And then for the audio recording, when you can't see it because it's hiding under this, we have this is what we use in the studio. It is a Zoom F6. It's a great 6-channel audio recorder, and we use that when we're out and about, if it's appropriate to do so. Sometimes it's not, and sometimes it is. I'm going to have to go because that was a knock at the door. And that was probably our breakfast. I'm putting my mask on because we're in Arizona. And Arizonans are not wearing their masks. But I am going to. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. And I'll put the Sunday music up ASAP. Thanks, guys.